In this TeamWork 5 Manager tutorial, I'm going to show you how to add an analytic report. An analytic report allows you to compare information from different data sources, whereas your other type of reports are only pulling from one data source. To create your analytic report, go to your top menu bar and click on TeamWork. Make sure you have your enterprise or your location selected, then choose Reports. Go to your new top menu bar and select Analytics. To create a new report, click Add. First, you want to give your report a name. I'm going to call this Time versus Schedule. Then decide how you want to total your information. So I'll click this arrow, and I can choose between day, week, month, and quarter. I'm going to leave this on week. Next, select how you want this information grouped. If I click this arrow, I can choose to group my report by location, station, client, or employee. Maybe I will go ahead and choose station. On the group by one, you can also leave that blank. If you changed your mind and you don't want to create this new analytic report, click Close. I do, so I'm going to choose Save. And now that report has been created. Right now, if I were to view the report, it would be blank because we haven't entered any information. So the first thing you need to do is choose a data source. Next to data source, click Add, then select the type of source. I'm going to click the arrow next to source. You might have more or different options depending on which features of TeamWork 5 you are using. I'm going to go ahead and choose Schedule. Then you need to select the value for this data source. If I click the arrow next to value, I can choose hours, cost, or count. I'll go ahead and leave that on hours. And finally, give your data source a label. A label is what you're going to use when you are using this information in the rows. I'll go ahead and call this one SCH, just short for schedule. If you changed your mind and you don't want to add this data source, click Close. I do, so I'm going to choose Save. Analytics reports are powerful because they can compare different data sources. So I'm going to select another one. I'll click Add again. Then this time I'm going to choose Time. I'm going to leave the value at hours, and I'm going to label it Time. Again, if I didn't want this, I could choose Close, but I'm going to select Save. Now I have two data sources. I could enter more if I want, but that's all I need for now. Next, I'm going to scroll down. Now that I've selected my data sources, I need to decide how I want that information arranged. That's what rows are for. So to add a new row on your report, click Add, and then you want to give this row a title. I'm going to call this one Scheduled versus Time. For the function, I want to know the difference between how many hours were actually worked and how many hours were scheduled. This is where I'm going to use those labels I created. So I'm going to say time minus schedule, that shorthand I used. Next, give this row a label. This is in case you want to do other functions with your rows. So I'm just going to call this Schedule versus Time, SVT. If you changed your mind and you don't want to add this row, click Close. I do, so I'm going to choose Save. Right now there's only one row on this report. Maybe I also just want to see how many hours total I had scheduled. To do that, click Add again. This row I'm going to call Scheduled. And the function, I'm just going to put the label for the data source. When I do that, it's just going to input that information. It's not going to do anything to it. And I will label this one SCH2. Again, if you don't want this row, click Close. I do, so I'm going to choose Save. And now we have our rows. I'm going to scroll back up. Next, you need to make a couple more decisions before you view your report. Beside Grouped By is a Show All box. Right now, if I create this report, I'm only going to see the stations that have data in them. If I click Show All, Now I will see the information for stations even if it's blank. I'll go ahead and leave that on. Under options, if you choose shared, this report will be shared with the people that you select. If you select titles, in the left-hand column, you will see the names of the rows. I'll go ahead and turn that one on. If you select totals, in the right-hand column, you will see a total for all of your information. I'll go ahead and choose totals. Now that I've filled in my report's information, I need to save it before I view it. In the upper right-hand corner, click Save. A green save bar will appear at the top of your report's information, letting you know when you last saved this page. To view your new report, choose View. And now my report has been created. There's no information in my report at the moment because I'm only viewing 1 week and it's a week that doesn't have any data. So I'm going to go ahead and change that. Let's say I want to view 4 weeks, and I'm going to go back in time to when I know I have schedules. And now you can see your analytics report. Notice that at the bottom half, I can see those stations that don't have any data on them. That's because I clicked that Show All box. If I left that box blank, I wouldn't see those last few stations. That's how you can add an analytics report. To learn how to edit and modify the parameters for your data sources in your analytics reports, check out the next video.